Good afternoon. A warm welcome to the final day session of our 3-day webinar series, Scaling Up the Entrepreneurial Ladder, Drawing the Right Stratagem, organized by the Incubation Cell of Ethiraj College For Women. A quick recap of yesterday. Ms. Divya Sridharan, a patent drafter and independent consultant, brought out the importance of patents and highlighted the need to protect innovative ideas and products developed by young entrepreneurs, which would help them to be commercially successful. Finding your entrepreneurial spirit and making it strong is more important than the idea or business one is developing. Befitting to this, we have with us Ms. Rajul Jain, co-founder and play educator, Meraki Childhood, also a very own Alumna, a vibrant and creative person who was so passionate about becoming an entrepreneur as our speaker for today's finale. Love, laugh, and live is how she would describe her journey thus far. An Edu-preneur in progress, curriculum consultant, play champ, and a child at heart. She is always with hope and desire to make a change in the lives of every little child out there. She is a pride alumna of the first batch of BCom honors from Ethiraj College For Women. Being an entrepreneur is unfathomable in words, but this exciting journey started for her as a co-founder of 5 degrees with her college buddies who ran the college Arvin Parlor. As a student, internships had given a taste of coursework for her and made her realize the classic 9-to-5 desk job is not her calling. Rajul graduated with a lot of strength to take risks, enthusiasm, and a spark to bring all the change she wishes to be. Figuring out a path for herself, she completed her diploma in Montessori and kindergarten training and worked in many reputed play schools. Her passion for learning and love for children kept growing each day, and she started writing her own playbooks for children and designing curriculum frameworks. She worked with a renowned NGO, Nalanda Way Foundation, for a year as the curriculum and content developer for the new initiatives of audio-based learning from government schools in Tamil Nadu. Currently, she is freelancing for them on the same and experimenting her hands on a soon-to-be launched natural play product. She has done several workshops for students of different age groups to teach math and science in a fun and memorable way. With a long, beautiful journey to embark on, this is just the beginning for her. I'm extremely happy and proud to welcome you to our webinar, Raju. A hearty welcome again to all our participants for today's session. Over to Ms. Rajul for the session.
Good evening. I would like to firstly thank E-Cell for this opportunity to share my journey with so many people out there as a student entrepreneur and now an edupreneur in making. I'm hoping by the end of this session, I am able to inspire many people out there and help them make their passion into a profession. I would like to begin with my presentation. So before I begin with the presentation, firstly, we can play a small game because I think games make anything interesting. So let's begin with a small game, which is more of something like this or that. So whichever first comes to your mind, you need to click on that. To begin the game, I will be sharing a link in your live comment box. So all the participants can click on the link and we can begin the game. I hope everyone is able to access to the game link, which is a poll link. For all those who are able to access the link, I have given you 5 this or that questions to which you need to just click the first thing which comes to your mind. I think due to some technical error, the link is not opening for many participants in the audience. Uh, Maybe we shall proceed with the presentation. And again, by the end of the presentation, we could have the poll links. Next. Next. Thank you, ma'am, for such a humble introduction. I would like to tell about my story of where I was and how I am here. This is something which we have all come across in our lives, where we are questioned about what do you wish to become when you grow up. Earlier, it was very simple and easy to answer, but as we grew, I know how scary it can get. And especially for the college students, it's a nightmare. And every next person asking you the question. But since childhood, I've always wished to become a businesswoman. I don't know what was very fancy about the word businesswoman, the attire, or what. But now the spark always stayed in me. And now I feel the whole joy of making a community or many people to work together to achieve a common vision or a goal is what a business is about. I am Rajul. I am an educator by passion. I love teaching and a curriculum content developer by profession. And I also am very curious, so I keep developing new ways of teaching and learning the children between 3 to 13 years of age group. This is my now, which looks very rosy and very fancy to a lot of people. But I think you should know the background story of how I've come here and how people around the community has helped me grow till here. And I have a long journey to go yet. Hope you can relate to my experiences and feel inspired. Next. Ethiraj College. College has a lot of memories for all of us. From bunking classes to missing lectures to trying new things to our assignments and projects and presentations, everything. But there was something very special which happened to me along with my college friends. There was one seminar, a brochure, which was very randomly put up on the notice board of our department. And we know as college students how boring can seminars and lectures get sometimes for us. But this seminar just caught our attention. We don't know why yet, but it was a very nice decision which we took, a very brave one. Initially, we chose to attend the seminar only with the idea that we would go out, meet new people, and we would also get on duty. But the seminar changed the way we thought about it. It changed our perspective towards learning and towards growing. It was a seminar conducted by the Arvind Cooperative Society, wherein they were giving opportunities to college students to run their own Arvind parlor with all the support from them as well as the college. We got immense support from our college, E-Cell, Ethiraj College for Women, E-Cell. They had supported us right from the first step of taking the decision to attend the seminar till we had the entire 5 degrees Arvind parlor set up. We had everyone supporting us in each step. It all looked very easy, exciting, because we are going to run something. So it sounded very fascinating. And with a lot of support, we did set up the 5 degrees oven parlor. It was initially very exciting and fun that we have our own office, we are going to earn money, and it all seemed nice. But then when we got into business, we realized that it's not a joke. It was a roller coaster. Not a single day went when we were just sitting down thinking it's another loss. And that happened consequently for almost 2 to 3 months, where we were only facing losses after losses. But something didn't stop us. We weren't willing to shut it down, or we weren't willing to just give it away to someone. The faculty of E-Cell and the coordinators, they kept motivating us and boosting that it's okay. One day the plates will turn. But they never did come into the way of how we were running the business. They guided us, but we were the ones who were exploring the different parts of how a business can be run, how a parlor can be run. And believe me, it was one experience which I would want to relive it over and over. I think recently also, my friends and myself, we have approached college n number of times to again take back our oven parlor in our names and run it under our banner, which is a very proud moment for us. The whole idea of business and entrepreneurship is very different when it is in books. But when you get on the field, it is a very different story. It is not how the words show it is. There are a lot of risks. There is, you sometimes face low self confidence. You do not, the work of every department is fallen under your heads. There is no branding, there is no accounting, there are no separate departments where there is someone to guide you. Everything you learn, you experiment, and you make it happen. And that is when, after 1 month, we all realize that there is a need. We should designate roles. We are into real business. We have invested money. So we cannot let the money go waste, neither our energy or the time. And that is when we took the first step and we designated roles for each of us. We, being evening college students, we figure out ways of how we could run and during which time, making the maximum sales, reaching out to more people, and only growing and growing and growing. We did not have a look back at all, but we did have losses still. But that was a nice part of the entire journey, because I still remember when, after 1.5 years of running the oven parlor, we were so attached to our business that we weren't very willing to even pass it on to our next batch. We were that attached to it. And we did earn enough profits, our hard earned money. We learned a lot about accountability, responsibility. I think I wasn't as much as responsible until I knew that there is a business which is dependent on me, my friends, and we are responsible for the money which comes in, which goes out. So it was a very different experience. And talking to a lot of college students there, I would say, please do not say no to seminars. Look into it. You never know, one seminar can change how you look at things. It can definitely turn over your ideas. And that one such changing idea was the Arvin Parlor, which was very well supported by our college E-Cell. It wouldn't have been possible if they wouldn't have given us the push to keep taking the steps. And we still know, walking out of college, still people associate the entire business to how we run it. And that makes the change in it. Next. Oh, these are some beautiful moments which we had created during our first journey as student entrepreneurs. We had interacted with a lot of people who are in high esteemed positions, and we were honored to always be at the demand of the entire college. Anything they would need, we were there serving it. And we had come to so much of business mind like that we were trying every other opportunity so that we could expand and grow. We just didn't want to stop it. We wanted to grow. We wanted to create awareness about we are there in the market. We would come up with very creative ideas of again and again reminding the market, be it the college market or the outside market, of we are there. Whatever you need, we will be there to serve you. Next. Yes, so that was our journey as a student entrepreneur. And everything seemed to settle down slowly for a lot of my friends, and they were so clear of what they wanted to do as well. But somewhere I was only clear of one thing, that I am not sitting for any placements. And I was like, everyone else is sitting for placements. But I was sure that I'm not sitting for any placement. And right now I'm very proud to say that I haven't sat for any placements in my third year of degree. And why did that change happen? When did I realize that I cannot sit for a job? The internships of the course BCom honors told made me realize that I'm not a 9 to 5 job person. I cannot sit at one place doing a lot of monotonous work. That's not my calling. But then I cannot also sit at home and do nothing. I know I need to create some change. And that is when I realized that in my neighborhood, a lot of children started approaching me because they enjoyed being around me. Not that we did a lot of learning and teaching, but we just enjoyed each other's presence. And I ensured learning did happen in the way the child likes, not the way I wish to teach. And slowly I started understanding there were more and more children and their parents pouring in, asking me to help their children and teach them. And that is when I realized that teaching is my calling. If it's not a 9 to 5 job, then there is something else. There is no looking back or there's no sitting down. And slowly I started understanding that I need to move towards teaching, towards education. So I did not stop there. I started doing my own research and finding opportunities of how I can grow in the education field. And I took up jobs, still not a 9 to 5 job. I took up jobs at different play schools. And I started working there with children. And that is when I realized that children make me feel comfortable and I enjoy what I do. I started gaining a lot of experience and learnings from different schools of how the education industry is operating. Since we are talking about entrepreneurship and how I am working to become an edupreneur, it is about how the market works and how the education industry works. I started identifying different work opportunities, meeting new people, sharing my dreams with them, telling what I wish to do. And I slowly started understanding in India, or to be more specific, in Chennai, there has been a lack of community learning and growth. There are a lot of people who wish to grow, but very less people who wish to grow with a team, with a community, helping everyone grow, which is missing. And this moment happened with children. And that is when they made me realize that even children and adults, everyone grow as a community. Next, from entrepreneur to an edupreneur. It's the words sound very fancy, but there is a lot of research which goes behind it. I started understanding that there might be infinite schools, but the need for professionally qualified teachers still lacks. There is a shortage. There aren't many young people taking up education as their profession, and they are working towards their professional development. And based on a lot of reports from UNESCO statistics, I understood that in India, the education market is going to boom. It's going to keep growing year after year. And the requirement for teachers is never going to stop. But I do not want to be a teacher how everyone looks at, the one who comes, writes on the board, and goes. I want to be a teacher who can make a change in a student's life, who can change the way he thinks, teach him how to think. And that is when I started studying about the trends in the education market. And it felt so relieved that I could again recreate my learning, my childhood in the upcoming trends. Upcoming trends were suggesting that we personalize learning for every child and gamify it. When they learn it that way, the learning is never a burden. They enjoy what they do. Next, 100 days of child growth. This is a very special journey of mine. In the entire long journey, some special 100 days. When I was working with Nalanda Way Foundation, an NGO based in Chennai and operates even in Delhi and Coimbatore, growing with children, I realized that every day I am growing and I am learning more than what I am giving them. Along with a team of educators, I was working in a government school to pilot study an audio learning program to see how it works with the children and how they respond to the tool. Do they enjoy learning? And is there a growth? The questions which we used to ask every day. And when we entered, we realized that kids were happy to see new faces. But they were less interested in the same old books. They wanted something new. They were distracted. They didn't know what to look, what not to look at. And we were lost thinking how to bring the focus back. But when we came up with some new tools, some exciting children ideas, we realized they like it when we connect whatever we teach them to their daily life. It cannot be when I used to teach them Hansel and Gretel when they don't even know who Hansel and Gretel is. The story is far fetched for them. But they started learning with us. They started using new things. They started growing. And the ladder kept improving. It had some downfalls, but when it was day 100, we could see the joy of learning in every child. They were willing to try all the new things possible. They didn't want to stop. They didn't want us to stop with that. They wanted us to come up with more ideas to teach them. They were taking efforts to think. Thinking is a big thing because when you stop someone's thinking, the growth stops. And that is when we realize that a child needs a space to grow. And that space needs to appreciate and acknowledge their ideas and their thought process. Next, these are some pictures of on field. Me being an educator, I've always had certain values which I have imbibed in every work I do. I feel me as an educator, I cannot sit in a closed room to teach 20 kids or 30 kids. I need the open space. But then the question was, do kids also need that? And then I started testing the same question and the idea with a lot of children through my workshops, through my ideas, through my tuitions. And that is when I realized their learning is much more enhanced when they do it in open, be it in terrace or on grass or in some park, some beach, or even on corridors. They enjoy what they do, and what they learn stays with them. It doesn't leave them. So we started doing a lot of workshops in different spaces for children. And we understood children needed the freedom to walk around, freedom to explore, and freedom to take in the entire learning. This photos are one is about one of the workshop which we had collaborated with Cambryonics Life Science, another science educator team, wherein they give science in a box, and we were experimenting with blood samples, and children were learning more about blood. Next, now comes the most special part of the journey. I wouldn't say this is less special or more, but this always is close to my heart. That is when I started discovering the magic of open spaces. Chennai has beautiful open spaces. Not to say every other state, country, the entire world out there has beautiful natural open spaces. The only thing needed is to bring these little curious minds out there, make learning happen in the open, give them the freedom, yet guide them to explore and experience everything they learn. In one of such workshop is what another business idea struck me, which is curating personalized learning experiences for children. Children do not want to go to another maths tuition, go to a dance class. They just don't want to do that. They want every day something new because they are taking in the entire universe in their little minds. They want to explore and experience. So, why stop them and not give them any options? That is when I started curating personalized learning experiences for children. Next. So I started curating personalized learning experiences for children on very different themes. Themes which is the need of the hour, themes which will keep children always grounded, themes which will help children relate learning to their life. And it just doesn't stay in books and papers. We did workshops on what money can cook. So children get to budget and purchase and save money So they learn everything about money for their age. We had a rack festival wherein we intertwined reading, arts, and gardening. And that is when I realized how far the coming generation is from nature. They missed feeling nature in their hands. We had a lot of experiential workshops, from digital detox to hands on science to natural ecosystem to reading and a lot more. By the end of the workshops, we realized kids enjoy. They definitely want to come back. But what is the bottleneck over there? Why don't people again turn back? Next. So I had done a lot of jumping from here to there, tried my hands on in play schools, to conducting children's workshops, to taking personalized tuitions for children. And then an opportunity landed to begin designing curriculum frameworks for children between 3 to 13 years. And the journey is continuing to only teach me. I have no plans of stopping yet. Next. Did you play today? Can all of you just think in a mind, did you play today? And lockdown, I think a lot of people would have definitely played Ludo and PUBG and a lot of board games with your family and everything. So then, when the word play comes and when it's children, why do we stop them? Why don't we take them further? Why do we always think play is only meant for leisure? Why cannot play be a way of learning? It's the child's way. This is about my upcoming product and a work in progress on how play is the future. A lot of research suggests that the more a child plays, the better it grows. So, why deprive children of something they love? And I am working on a learning through play approach with natural and sustainable ways of how it can reach every child and they enjoy learning while they play. Next. I hope I haven't bored any of you listening to my story. This is the road I've traveled so far, and it's been a very interesting road which I have taken. I have a long way to go yet. I have tried my hands from oven parlor, a food parlor, to working in different play schools and just landing into taking up a diploma degree into teacher training, conducting a series of workshops for children at random public places, ensuring the safety of children comes first. I have tried my hands on as curriculum developer, and I've curated something called Tuitions with Twist. It's tutoring with a twist. And currently working on one of the most sought after idea, which is play and how play can be brought back in the lives of children. Next. It was all very nice and interesting when I was telling you all what I have achieved. But there were a lot of hurdles which came across. Thankfully, nothing put me down or nothing made me stop what I am doing. Few hurdles are with the industry itself, which takes time to overcome and cross it. Parents lack awareness. Parents in such a fast changing world, every day there's something new coming up in the education industry for the child. Parents lack awareness about a lot of products, a lot of things, a lot of methods of education, and everyone just follows the crowd. Next is wide market. It's a wide market. It's a never ending and ever growing market, which never stops. But the needs for children keep changing every day. And it's the work of the educator and every other person in the education industry to keep updating and changing with the needs of the children. That is when both grow. The child also grow and the business also grows. This is one hurdle which has been there for the last 6 years, and I am still overcoming it, which is a team of educators. No idea, no business can grow alone. You need the right team to grow with. And I am still looking, waiting to build the right team of educators to make the idea or a dream come true. Importance of quantity over quality. This is something which I have come across in a lot of schools that and with parents that a lot of focus is on quantity over quality. And the idea kept rubbing on everybody, from parents to teachers to the administration to schools, and it's even beginning to rub on children, where children are giving importance to quantity of how much they study, but not of what they study, what they learn, what they experience, which keeps lacking. There is no community learning for teachers. Teachers' job doesn't start or end when they take up a job in a school. It keeps growing every day where they collaborate, they learn with the other teachers, co-educators, and keep growing. The rigid policies and permissions. I do not even have to say, for every workshop, for every idea of mine, which I had to bring it to life, which I'm working to bring it to life each day, has to go through a lot of permissions and policies. They are not simple, they are not easy. You just need to find the right way to turn it around. Next, my pillars of strength. It gives me so much joy to share with everybody the whole journey of 7 years and a long way to go couldn't have been possible without my pillars of strength. My family and friends. I do not know yet how many people in my family and extended family and friends even know clearly of what I do, because yet I am not clear of what I want to do. I know I want to be the change in lives of children. I know I want to make their childhood a very happy learning one, but yet they have stood by me always, believing in what I am doing is good. I am impacting children's life. There have been workshops where no one have turned up, and yet my friends would turn up just to boost up my morale. And every time in the last 7 years, when I've become low, or I do not know where the idea is going, I do not have funds, I do not have support, the market is not open, there are no children, and so many no's to handle, a friend always used to tell me, hope, you will find a better bag tomorrow. A bag with your ideas, a bag with new ideas, and you will bring the change you want. My passion to teach, it's growing each day. I see another child on the Street, I am like, just come with me. I will teach you something new. It's like that. The passion is growing. Thanks to my strength of being patient and comfort with children, the kids made me realize that I am so patient that even they do an hour of mischievousness, I do not lose it, and finally they give up. There have been a lot of fellow educators, still a lot of professors from college and educators from my field who have always stood by me and always guided me. Take the risk. We are there for you. We will support you. Nothing can go wrong. I've never had the fear of things going wrong, but I've had the fear of delaying my idea, of launching it without a right team. Next. Thank you all, firstly, for listening to my journey. And it is still making me speechless that I've shared my journey with all of you. And I'm working to grow a long way with a lot of you. It's an inspiring thing for each one of you listening to me. I do not know if 9 to 5 is right or starting your own business is right. There's nothing called right or wrong in both, but it is about what you wish to do. Listen to what you want to do. And being in college, I think there is no other better time and opportunity than using this time to explore, experiment, and try out what you want to do. Because there is a big support system for you. For those who think we do not have idea, I want to do something, but I don't have idea. You don't need to feel confused or lost or worried. There is no place better than family or friends who would help you find out what you are good at, what's your calling, what you should do, if not for this or if not for that. There is a community out there on different social media platforms to help you, mentor you, and guide you on the right path. If after listening to my journey and story, if any of you feel inclined towards children and you're inspired to bring some change in education and you would like to work and grow along with the educator community, I am open for collaborations with each one of you out there. When our vision matches and we can work towards a same common goal. For those who have an idea, who even wish to run a business, who is excited, who has that fire right now, that yes, I can do it, but I don't have funds, I don't have support, I don't know how to go about. I personally would suggest there is no other place better than E-Cell of our college, Ethiraj College for Women, to be approached for guidance right from ideation to running it and making your business a successful venture. So don't stop dreaming. I still dream. My dreams are not stopping, it's only building and growing and growing. Don't stop dreaming. It's just time that you wake up and give it the spark which it needs, and rest will begin to flow. Thank you. Next. Thank you all for patiently listening to my journey. It was a pleasure sharing my journey with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajul. Hello, Rajul, thank you. As our webinar topic goes, it is truly inspirational to listen to you. And as the webinar topic goes, and being our own student, it is definitely our pride and extreme happiness for us to see you scale up the entrepreneurial ladder higher and higher by drawing the right stratagem to pursue your passion. So we'll move on to the question and answer session now.
Yes, sure. We can take
Can
that.
I have the question, please? How did you overcome the initial struggle faced by you?
The entire journey has had so many struggles. I am still thinking which was the initial one. But the initial struggle was one to choose a very different road of not going for placements and 9 to 5 job and trying to start something by myself. And how I overcame it is I read a lot. I researched a lot about the education industry itself as I was stepping into it.
Very nice. Can I have the next question? How did you get funded initially, and what creative strategies did you execute as a beginner?
My funding initially has been my own savings, my pocket money, and plus I cannot forget the Arvin earned money. So those have been my funding initially. And side by side, I always kept doing some kind of part-time work in education industry to keep myself monetarily going. And creative strategies as a beginner is I tried my hands in a lot of areas in the wide market of education. I moved from working in an NGO, going on field, being in a school, taking tuitions, going for workshops. I tried different things so that I know which one is more feasible, viable, and sustainable.
Nice to hear that, Rajul. Can I have the next question? According to you, what makes you stand out among the competition that exists?
Thanks that someone did ask me this question. My USP is I personalized learning for every child. And I am more focused on impacting, even if I reach out 30 children, I am making sure that 30 children are impacted rather than reaching out 300 schools with my idea. I go slow, but yes, steady. And what makes me stand out more is the ideas. Every day I'm coming up with new creative ideas in the field of education.
Hope you come more with more and more ideas. Next question. What is your one source of inspiration to become a play educator, and how did you build your team?
My one source of inspiration to become a play educator is I love to play. I've become an educator, I've become a professional, yet I still play. And I feel that's the strongest inspiration for me that I need to spread play back to children and bring it back in their lives. And about how did I build my team? I am sorry, but I haven't built my team yet. I am still working on the lookout to find the right team. I haven't built my team yet, and I am still working by myself. But definitely, my friends and family have been here and there to push me and support me. That's it. Thank you.
Nice, Rajul. Continue to play. Next question. As a play educator, what suggestions can you give parents and mentors when they try to coach their child?
As a play educator, I would suggest something very simple. One is open up your mindset about play. Play is not just leisure, it goes way beyond it and it teaches children more than what you can imagine. When you feel your child cannot learn for parents and mentors, when you coach your child and you feel there is enough distraction, try bringing out learning through a play toy, through a play material. And automatically you will find that the child is already attracted towards it and the learning is already happened.
Very true. So now we have the last question for the day. What are your tips for aspiring entrepreneurs?
Dream. Come up with as crazy, innovative ideas you can, but don't stop coming up with ideas. Come up with ideas, share it with your community, friends, social circle, college. As you share, you realize that there is always an opportunity in a need. And that is when you can work towards making it into your own dream.
Very
Start
good way to
thinking.
look at it.
Thank you.
So we'll move on. We'll come to the end of the session now. I call upon Sai Shrisha to propose the vote of thanks for the day.
Thank you, ma'am. On behalf of the Incubation Cell of Ethiraj College for Women, I take this opportunity to thank Rajul ma'am for inspiring our students by taking us through her journey. Ma'am, I am sure that students will now believe that nothing is impossible if we just believe in oneself and to just pursue our passion. Your progress and your path are truly inspiring and motivating. Hoping for much more success to you, ma'am. Also, thank you for actively engaging in the question and answer session. It would be right to say that without the guidance of, of Dr. Sudeshna T, ECRIC member, and Ms. Kavita Maniganjan, E-Cell coordinator, this webinar series wouldn't have been possible. Thank you, ma'am. Heartfelt thanks to each one of our participants for making this session a successful one. We will now have a rapporteur's video of this webinar series. Thank you.
Now, as we come to the end of the final session of the learning platform, on scale of